9 insane rules that built and buried an empire. The Pentagon never fired a shot for 265 years. The dollar lost 86% of its gold, and nobody rioted. The president was locked inside a library, and the country ran in his name anyway. That regime actually existed, in Japan, from 1603 to 1868. One family, 0 foreign wars, 0 colonies, and a peace longer than the entire United States has been alive. Then it killed itself with its own paperwork. Here are the 9 insane rules that built an empire and quietly buried it. 2 million armed warriors, 0 foreign battles, ever. 1603. Britain owned over 150 colonies. The Dutch East India Company ran Asia. Spain bled silver from Mexico. Japan? Japan did absolutely nothing abroad for 265 straight years. Founder Tokugawa Ieyasu had watched warlord Hideyoshi torch an entire army invading Korea in the 1590s. He drew one conclusion: no foreign wars, ever. He hard-coded it into the constitution. Japan still had 1.5 to 2 million samurai, bigger than America's active military and reserves combined. A massive standing army with no enemy and no mission abroad. So they pivoted. Warriors became bureaucrats, poets, tea masters, calligraphers. Imagine the Pentagon retraining every Marine as a haiku critic. That is almost literally what happened. Result? 0 invasions, 0 overseas colonies, and a unified peace longer than the entire history of the United States. The strangest military empire ever recorded. But if you think peace this big runs on real soldiers, wait. 1/3 of the men in uniform were rentals. The biggest samurai parade in Japan was a casting call. Every other year, regional lords, daimyo, had to march to the capital with massive samurai processions. Think Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Mandatory. Every clan, for 250 years. 1827. The Kaga clan marched 1,969 men over 300 miles. A document later surfaced. 686 of them, 34.8%, were day laborers hired the night before. Fake samurai, pure extras. An agency called Rokugumi Hikakyo Danya specialized in exactly this. Recruit, dress, drill, deliver to the inn before the gates. Wages, costumes, swords, all rentals. Hollywood crowdcasting, 200 years early. Total cost? A 4,000-man round trip ran roughly 240 million yen, about 1.6 million US dollars in today's money. Multiply across a daimyo's career, most clans went bankrupt. On the road, the extras chatted, smoked, walked sloppy. At every town gate, they snapped into perfect formation. Trump inauguration optics, Edo style. Pure theater, padded with rented bodies. And if the soldiers were fake, the man at the very top of the pyramid was even more invisible than that. By written law, the emperor's only job was poetry. July 17, 1615, Ieyasu, his son, and the imperial regent signed a 17-article law called Kinchu Narabini Kuge Shohato, Court and Noble Code. It governed the emperor himself. Article 1. Quote, "The emperor must devote himself to scholarship and waka poetry. That's it. No governance, no foreign affairs, no army. Books and rhymes." Japan's most sacred man, by law, was a humanities major. Article 7 let the shogun hand out unlimited court ranks to his samurai outside the imperial quota. The emperor lost control of his own nobility, on paper, overnight. 1627. Emperor Go-Mizuno granted purple robes to monks without permission. The shogun voided every grant and exiled the protesting priest. The emperor abdicated in silent rage. Britain made its king a figurehead in 1689. Tokugawa got there 74 years earlier and made the figurehead a librarian. In Britain, the king kept the throne. In Japan, the king kept the books. The emperor was caged. Meanwhile, the shogun himself was eating like a paranoid king under siege. 3 poison tasters, 2 hours, cold rice, every meal.
Every shogun meal passed 3 layers of poison tasters, 2 officials, then 1, then 2 attendants beside the shogun himself. Kitchen to mouth, 2 full hours. Result? The most powerful man in Japan ate cold rice every single day of his life. No seconds. 1 bowl. Done. Refusing dishonored the kitchen staff and could trigger suicides. If anything strange, a hair, a fly, a pebble, was found in the food, a kitchen official was required to commit ritual suicide. Same day, no appeal, no exception. March 14, 1701. Lord Asano drew his sword inside the castle during an imperial reception and slashed Protocol Master Kira. Morning attack. By 4:30 p.m. that same day, verdict signed. Asano disemboweled himself that night. Kira walked free. Imagine the Secret Service executing a senator the same day for drawing a knife in the Oval Office. Protocol literally ate people. 2 years later, 47 of Asano's retainers stormed Kira's mansion at dawn and beheaded him. They turned themselves in. All 47 were ordered to disembowel themselves. Protocol won again. Protocol could kill a samurai in a day, but the rice on his plate killed 3 shoguns in a row. In Edo, being rich was literally the disease. Shogun number 10, Ieyasu, died at 50. Number 13, Ieyasu, at 35. Number 14, Iemochi, at just 21. Same cause, same season. Across 80 years, death age dropped by 30. Diagnosis: kake, beriberi, acute heart failure from vitamin B1 deficiency. Cause: polished white rice. The Edo aristocracy refined every nutrient out of their daily bowl. Meanwhile, peasants ate barley, millet, brown rice, packed with B1. They were stronger, healthier, and outlived the shogun himself. A total class inversion baked into the daily bowl. Iemochi's autopsy is brutal. 21 years old, 30 cavities, near skeletal frame, swollen heart. His young bride, Princess Kazu, just 20, watched him collapse in the summer of 1866. In Edo, being rich was the disease. Being poor saved your life. Today in America, diabetes hits the poor hardest. Same calorie game, scoreboard completely flipped. Rice quietly debased the shogun's body. But long before that, the shogun was already debasing the money itself. Gold purity in the coin crashed from 86 to 14%. The first Keicho Koban gold coin, 1601, was 86% pure gold. The last, the Manen Koban of the 1860s, was 14%. The currency lost most of its physical body in 260 years. 1695. Finance Minister Ogiwara Shigehide launched the Genroku Koban, 57% gold. The shogun pocketed roughly 5.3 million ryo. In today's dollars, around 4 billion, pure seigniorage. Ogiwara's exact words: "Money is whatever the state says it is. Even pebbles would work." That's fiat currency theory. He wrote it 276 years before Nixon killed the gold standard. Inflation under Genroku ran around 3% annually, just above the Federal Reserve's 2% target today. Edo was running 21st century monetary policy with brushes and abacuses. Then scholar Arai Hakuseki fired Ogiwara and reissued pure coins. Sudden deflation crushed the economy. The exact same mistake the Fed keeps making. The lesson is 300 years old. The money was fake, but the foreign intelligence flowing into the country was painfully, dangerously real. Guantanamo with an annual World News Report for 217 years. Dejima was a fan-shaped artificial island in Nagasaki Harbor, about 1.3 hectares, or 3.2 acres, 2 soccer fields. From 1641 to 1858, Dutch traders lived there, confined, watched. They could not leave. Locals could not enter without papers. Dutch officers literally wrote in their journals, "We are prisoners, hostages, criminals." Direct quote from the archives. But every year, the Dutch had to submit Furu Setsugaki, world news reports. European wars, missionary movements, ship technology. Japan got annual intelligence briefs for free. Best story? 1811. Napoleon erased the Netherlands from the map. The only place on Earth still flying the Dutch flag was Dejima. Captain Duff brewed his own beer to survive the years of silence. When Commodore Perry's black ships arrived in 1853, Japan already knew. The annual reports had warned them years earlier. Guantanamo with a yearly subscription, and Japan was the subscriber. Reading the world did not save the regime. Domestic fury from a former cop with a library detonated first. He sold 50,000 books to feed the poor, then attacked. March 25, 1837, Osaka. 45-year-old Oshio Heihachiro, a former police lieutenant and Confucian scholar, raised a banner reading "Save the People" and revolted against the shogunate. Before the revolt, he sold his 50,000-volume library and distributed cash to 10,000 starving citizens. That is the moral preface to his violence, like going viral on GoFundMe right before declaring war. 300 armed disciples attacked rich merchants with fire arrows.